What's going on, my people? It's Tony from FoodSesh, and we're back at it with another one. So right now, I'm driving to New Haven, Connecticut, because I need to try the famous Frank Pepe's and Sally Apizza. Now, right now, I'm getting off the exit, headed towards the original Sally Apizza. I know the line is probably going to be long, but the original Frank Pepe's is maybe like 5 to 7 minutes away. So if I can't get something from Sally Apizza's right away, I'm going to drive to Frank Pepe's and I'm going to see what's good with there. But I also know another Sally Apizza location that's actually on the way home to me. So if I can't get from the original, I'm going to go to Frank Pepe's, do what I got to do there as far as wait. Then I'm going to go to the other Sally Apizza's if the line is too long at the original. And then we're going to commence this food sesh and let the FoodSesh fam know whether these two Connecticut institutions are a hit or miss. So stay tuned, guys. I'm going to speed it up, and I'll see you guys at Sally Apizza. So we're just turning the corner now, and as you can see, we just arrived to the original Sally Apizza's. The line looks like it's really long. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to inquire how long it takes. And if it takes more than 2 hours, then I'm just going to go drive to Frank Pepe's, see what's good with there. And like I told you guys before, I'll still drive to the other Sally Apizza location, which is on the way home to me, and then I could still review that for the FoodSesh fam. So I'm going to speed it up, guys, because I was already told it's going to be over an hour and a half. So we're going to go to Frank Pepe's and see if it's less of a wait. So stay tuned, guys. What's going on, my people? It's Tony from FoodSesh, and we're back at it with another one. So today I'm in New Haven, Connecticut, about to try the world's famous Frank Pepe's Pizza. Now, I was going to hit up Sally's Pizza, which is just a couple of blocks from here, but the line was very long. I had put my online order in for Frank Pepe's, and that was going to take also an hour. So I'm maybe going to check out a couple of the shops, kill a little bit of time while I wait for my Frank Pepe's online order. But the good news is that I did find another Sally's Pizza, which is taking online orders. So after I'm done with here, I'm going to drive down 45 minutes, which is actually on the way back to New York. And I'm going to try the Sally's Pizza spot. Now, I was going to do an online order at this one here that's near the original Frank Pepe's in New Haven, but they unfortunately are not taking any orders over the phone or online. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to wait on that line. It's around 90 degrees out here. But I did put my online order for the Frank Pepe's. I'm going to check out some of the shops. Then I'm just going to wait in my car, depending on how hot it is. But trust me, it's super hot out here, guys. Super humid on this almost 90-degree day. But you know it's only right that we try this Frank Pepe's to bust it down for the FoodSesh fam, to let you guys know whether I think it's a hit or miss. Now, you guys know that I'm a New Yorker and I've tried some of the best pizza in the world, but New Haven is actually known as the pizza capital of the world. So I said, you know what? Being a New Yorker and mostly trying New York pizza, I said it's only right. So let me get this pizza. I got the pizza, guys, and that's what the original box looks like. The original Frank Pepe's from 1925, and they definitely have a really, really cool box compared to what you normally see in New York, those generic red and white boxes. I think the Frank Pepe's box looks amazing. But now we got to jump into the pizza, and look at that, guys. Connecticut style pizza. As far as appearance, it looks amazing. And I cannot wait to dig into this bad boy. Check that out, guys. I went with the original cheese. I'm back, guys, and I got the pizza. It was around an hour wait, so I hope it's definitely worth it. But from the looks of it, so far it's definitely looking good. It's definitely looking different than a New York style pizza by the way they cut it. But it looks very reminiscent of a New York pizza. So I'm hoping that it's at least similar, but it might be better because, like I told you guys before, New Haven, Connecticut, and Connecticut in general, is the pizza capital of the country. I thought my whole life it was New York, but it's actually Connecticut. So I hope that they can fill these large shoes, because you know New York has some of the best pizza in the world. So let's see, guys. I showed you how good it looked, but now we have to dig into this. It's probably super hot, so I don't want to burn my mouth. I'll let it cool down for a little while. But so far, this is looking amazing. It looks like New York pizza, but they actually cut it in like these smaller slices. I decided to go with the 16-inch pie. You can go with a 12, 16, or 18. But as you can see, the 16-inch is pretty good. But one of the things that definitely caught my eye immediately is that crust. Check that out. And I believe this specific Pepe's is the only one that uses a coal-fired oven. I believe it's one of the last few existing pizza places that actually use the coal-fired oven, and you can see what it does. Look at that char, guys. Now I can see why people were waiting so long on that line. Everything is looking good. Everything is smelling good. But now we need to see what this bad boy tastes like. The original tomato pizza from Frank Pepe's in New Haven, Connecticut. Big bite. Cheers. I'm back after taking the first bite, and I will admit the cheese is flavorful. The tomato sauce is definitely very good. It tastes like some organic, homemade type of tomato sauce that you're probably only gonna find here. But my only complaint, and this is me being a New Yorker that loves a nice thin slice, is that I feel the crust is a little thick, guys. Check that out. You can see it with your own eyes. It is a good tasting crust, and I'm gonna give my full evaluation when I actually taste the actual crust. But for me, it's a little on the doughier side, and I guess just me being a New Yorker, I guess I prefer the thinner New York slice compared to this. Even though this is really good, I'm gonna actually finish this bad boy, because like I said before, I gotta definitely get some of that crust at the end to give it my full score and full review. So we're gonna finish this one, and then I'm gonna come back with my score on the Frank Pepe's tomato slice. Let's get it. Cheers. So I'm back after finishing one of the Frank Pepe slices. And like I said before, definitely good, high quality ingredients, cheese, sauce. Just look at that crust. It just looks amazing. But unfortunately, it's a little on the thicker side for me. And I guess I'm just being biased because I'm just a New Yorker, and that's the type of pizza that I grew up with. Some people might like this thicker slice, but unfortunately for me, I prefer a New York slice, and that will most likely be my favorite over this. For me, I prefer the classic New York thin slice from like Luigi's or Amore's, something along that line. So as far as score on the Frank Pepe's tomato slice, I'm gonna have to give it an above average 7.5 out of 10. And unfortunately, guys, it's gonna be a miss for me because it's a 2-hour drive from where I live, and I'm not gonna drive 2 hours and wait over an hour to get this kind of pizza when I have what I feel is a lot better pizza at NYC. But I'm not done reviewing Connecticut pizza. I'm actually gonna go right now to Sally's Pizza to see whether it's a hit or miss, and to see whether it's gonna be better than Frank Pepe's. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be driving there in a bit, and we're gonna continue this food sesh. Stay tuned. There it is, guys. We finally got to Sally's Apizza in Stamford, Connecticut. And one thing we need to know is whether or not this is going to be better than Frank Pepe's. So I made my way to Sally's Apizza in Stamford, Connecticut. As you guys saw, I was recently in New Haven and I did the review on the Frank Pepe's. Now, I was originally gonna hit up the old school, the original Sally Apizzas, but unfortunately the line was over an hour wait, and I was almost gonna pass it up until I saw that the Stamford, Connecticut one was actually taking online orders, and it was still like a 40-minute wait, and I finally got the pie. So it's right here, guys. Check that out. That's the regular tomato cheese pie from Sally's Apizza, and it looks amazing. It looks more like my style, but we need to ultimately see whether this is going to be better than Frank Pepe. So I showed you guys what the pizza looks like, and now we're going to pull out one of the slices. Let me get like a nice sized one. And so far, this one's looking really good. It looks like it has a little more sauce than the Frank Pepe's. The crust is similar. It has that brick oven style texture and color and that charredness to it, which seems to be a thing for the Connecticut pizza scene. Basically, it looks like a little mini slice that you would get from your typical brick oven pie. Now, I did go with the small. I believe it's around 12 or 14 inches. But let's see what this smells like. Smells really good, looks really good, and of course it has that nice coal brick oven char that seems to be the thing out here in Connecticut, which I'm definitely not mad at. But we need to see what this bad boy tastes like, and we need to see if this is going to be better than Frank Pepe's, because like I told you guys before, I wasn't disappointed with Frank Pepe's, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Maybe I'm just a spoiled New Yorker, but that's just what it is. But let's see what this bad boy tastes like. The regular tomato slice from Sally Apizza in Stamford, Connecticut. Big bite. Cheers. I'm back after taking several bites of the tomato slice from Sally's Apizza, and one thing that I noticed right away compared to the Frank Pepe's is that it's not as thick, and it definitely is a little on the crunchier side. Now, one thing that I did notice that was different, that I did like better on Frank Pepe's, which was the sauce. That's gonna differ per individual. It just depends what kind of sauce you like. I feel like this one was a little sweeter, and the Frank Pepe's was a little more on the acidic side. Now, usually I like a sweeter sauce, but that sauce from Frank Pepe's was really, really good. My only complaint was that the crust was just a little too thick. But this one right here, guys, is really, really good. Cheese is good. It's a little more on the saucier side, so that I like. And like I said before, this sauce is a little sweeter. But one thing that I definitely liked much better than Frank Pepe's was that crust. It just had a much better crunch to it, and I feel like it wasn't as chewy. And if I had to choose between the two, I'm gonna have to go with Sally Apizza as far as which one is better between Frank Pepe's and Sally Apizza. And the score that I'm gonna give this one right here is an 8.2 out of 10. And if I find myself back in Connecticut, if I need to choose between the two, I already told you Frank Pepe's unfortunately is gonna be a miss, but Sally Apizza is a hit. And if I'm back in Connecticut, I will definitely hit it up again. And this is the one that I would recommend if you're in Connecticut and you're undecided whether you want to go with Frank Pepe's or if you want to go with Sally Apizza. I'm going to say Sally Apizza definitely takes the win on this one. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.